Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Osun State Governor orders full investigation into death sentence of young man accused of stealing chicken. Young lady kills 10-month-old baby over people's mockery of child. National Youth Service Corps member slums and dies at orientation camp in Kebbi State. I'm Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Since his assumption of office, the Nigerian military, under the leadership of the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has continuously advocated for the use of non-kinetic approaches in the ongoing fight against criminality in the country. This follows the realization that the desire to win the war using the kinetic option has become unrealistic. Clearview News Desk presents this special report on the non-kinetic operations of Operation Udoka, aimed at giving the military the upper hand in the fight against insecurity ravaging the southeastern region of Nigeria. The report. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, has grappled with the challenge of insecurity sweeping through all regions of the country for over a decade. This has led to a significant loss of lives, breakdown of law and order, and also negatively affected the economy as well as the quality of livelihood of citizens. In recent times, the southeast region of Nigeria has particularly been an area of major concern for many, considering the growing insurgency occasioned by the activities of the indigenous people of Biafra, a secessionist group, and its militant arm, the Eastern Security Network, which has led to attacks on security operatives, government and private-owned infrastructure, as well as lives and property of people in the region. In a bid to address the lingering insecurity, security operatives, especially the military, have adopted the use of hard and soft power in counter-insurgency operations to contain the emerging and ever-changing nature of the adversaries. At the Nigerian Navy's base in Oguta, Imo State, the maritime component of the Joint Task Force of the Southeast Operation, Udoka, says it regularly conducts various outreach programs and activities as part of measures to not only maintain a cordial relationship with the locals, but also foster a strong network for intelligence gathering with the locals. At a free medical outreach and educational campaign for people of Eziozu community in Imo State, the Commander, Maritime Component of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, Naval Base Oguta, Commodore Bashir Salisu, represented by the second-in-command, Commander Ukeme Friday Anthony, assured locals of the military's commitment to provide adequate security against criminal activities in the state.
I would love to say a very big thank you to the Almighty God for this opportunity to provide this medical and educational outreach to the good people of Eziosu community here in Imo State. And this is in line with the mandate of the Nigerian Navy and the vision of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ikechukwu Ogala. This is aimed at fostering a better civil-military relations with the good people of Eziosu community, improving and bettering our relationship, and also fostering good learning for our younger generations, as you can see on our right side.
The military they are here. They've been all over. They have their base around here, so they have been patrolling about. They're always available if I thought there's any cause for alarm.
May God bless them because of they are helping us in this community. Because without them, we're in trouble every time. But as they come, no trouble again. Both Navy and the Army here, so we're okay.
Similarly, in Ikwo local government area of Ebonyi State, community members commended the Nigerian military for its role in restoring peace and stability in the state and the entire southeast region. The chairman of the local government, Barrister Sunday Nwankwo, highlighted the achievements of the Ikwo Forward Operating Base, FOB, under the Sector 2 command of the Joint Task Force Operation Udoka.
Let me say with every sense of responsibility that since the first posting of your military team to help us in the elections, it's been wonderful with them. And we have had a very cohesive relationship. And it is to show you how we feel that I worked hard to put that place in that order. And I've always been collaborating with him to ensure that the little we need to do at this level, we don't fail to do it. And let me also thank you for the quality of men you are sending where. Sometimes when we hear that one is leaving, we begin to feel agitated. Who comes next? But there is this sense of renewal of capacity. This one goes, you want to miss him, and that one comes with some amiable, disarming military features that makes you begin to say it's like they have them in stock for Ebonyi State.
Yes, there is great security in my community, in my own community, Amagikwo. We have no problem. There are no clashes, there are no serious challenges. It's very good because we have been doing around the clock, checking people. Where we notice some movements that is a bit dubious, we go into that area and make sure we track the people that have come in. If they came for good, all right. But if we find out that they are not doing the right thing, we normally apprehend them and report them to the police.
Before the FOB come, our women, while going to market sometimes, they observe certain uncalled attitudes from the youth. But since the recession of the FOB in Ikwo local government, most of those things stopped.
They are actually doing a lot of job. But like I said, there's something like was raised in the hall there. We have a kind of terrain that when the rains come, that kind of vehicle may not access some of the places. So we're also calling on government to assist us by giving them vehicle that is rugged, that has the capacity to go around when the need arises.
According to security experts, the use of non-kinetic methods alongside military efforts could play a pivotal role in combating Nigeria's escalating insecurity challenges. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, says it has recovered 52 billion naira in assets and $966,900 in foreign currency within the last year. The ICPC chairman, Dr. Musa Aliyu San, made the disclosure on Tuesday in Abuja at an event marking his one-year anniversary as the commission's chairman. Clevius' correspondent was there and now brings us details. Corruption in Nigeria, Africa's economic giant, has been a long, unending struggle. An epidemic that has swept through all facets of the public and private sector, negatively impacting the socio-economic lives of citizens. Following his appointment as the 5th substantive chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, by President Bola Tinubu on October 17, 2023, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu pledged his commitment to eradicating all forms of corruption through lawful enforcement and preventive measures in line with the mandate of the Commission. Speaking at an event to mark his 1 year in office, Dr. Aliyu revealed that the Commission recovered 52 billion naira in assets, $966,900 in foreign currency, as well as intercepted 5.882 billion naira in diverted funds across 323 ministries, departments, and agencies within the past year.
The Commission was able to assess 323 ministries, departments, and agencies through our ethics and integrity compliance scorecard. We also established 80 anti-corruption and transparency units across MDS to enforce our anti-corruption efforts. While doing this, the Commission also stopped the diversion of public funds to the tune of 5.8 billion. The report of the ethics and integrity compliance scorecard will be made public today. Also in the year, the Commission has launched a new digital platform for promoting transparency and ethical practices among Nigerians, the Youth-Driven Ethic Port. Additionally, we also revamped our weekly program, which previously known as Corruption Must Go. Now it has been rebranded. It is now called Transparency Fight.
He attributed the successes recorded to the Commission's unwavering commitment to the rule of law, adoption of modern practices, and investment in equipping its workforce with ICT tools.
One area where it's critical, which we are focusing, is the area of application of technology in the fight against corruption. This is an area whereby we are putting much of our attention in order to ensure that we have taken the fight against corruption to the next level.
In their separate address at the event, heads of top economic and anti-graft agencies highlighted the critical need for an enduring partnership of anti-corruption agencies and the media to succeed in the fight against the scourge of corruption in the country.
The role of asset recovery can therefore not be overstated. It deters corrupt practices, restores public trust, strengthens the integrity of our institution. Also, through effective asset recovery, we can reclaim misappropriated funds, reinvest them into sectors that improve the lives of all Nigerians. The Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption and Financial Crime is committed to enacting robust legal frameworks that empower agencies like ICPC to track, seize, and repurpose assets illicitly acquired.
I am certain and convinced that corruption can and will continue to be effectively combated in public service of public sector when there is a political will to do this. The political will implies giving the Commission free hand to deal with politically exposed personalities. It was believed at the time that public service of the country is the cesspool of corruption. I submit and challenge the leadership of ICPC to rededicate themselves to the core mandate of the ICPC.
They are doing the most important job in Nigeria, apart from that of the president, and that's the truth. Because if you don't fight corruption, we are going nowhere. If you don't fight corruption, we are going nowhere. Insecurity is going to rise. Poverty is going to be on the increase. Except we make up our mind that this war must be won. And it's winnable. It may be tough, it may be difficult, but we'll win it. So, if people don't envy us, but again, somebody has to do the job.
This anti-corruption thing must henceforth be made to become a citizen's fight. The mindset has been like us versus them. So when they see anti-corruption people, they feel that they are the enemies of society. We need to change the narrative. We need to change the mindset to get the citizens to see that this is in their own interest. Let them own the fight.
If we consider the cultures and practices of our respective countries and we introduce policies that work, I believe Africa will be ready to confront the 21st century better as a country, winning in the fight against corruption.
High point of the event was the delivery of goodwill messages and a panel discussion. The Osun State Governor, Ademola Adeleke, has ordered an investigation into a matter involving a young man who was sentenced to death by hanging for stealing a chicken. This was made known in a statement posted on the governor's X account on Wednesday. It was gathered that Governor Adeleke has directed the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Osun State, to commence full investigation into the matter and initiate processes to grant the prerogative of mercy to the young man. According to Adeleke, Osun is a land of justice and equity, and he reinstated his commitment to ensure fairness and protection of the sanctity of lives. He further assured members of the public that the matter is receiving his direct attention with every sense of urgency. Meanwhile, a young lady, Miss Blessing Ibuku, is among the over 30 suspects paraded by the Delta State Police Command for being involved in crimes such as robbery, kidnapping, cultism, and murder, among others, while also recovering 150 arms, including 32 AK-47 rifles. The State Commissioner of Police, Abaniwanda Olufemi, while briefing journalists at the command's headquarters in Asaba, said Ibuku was arrested for killing her 10-month-old baby, Prevail Jonathan, who she threw into a community river because she was mocked for being fatherless. Olufemi noted that the arrests and recoveries were part of the command's effort to combat crime since he assumed office as the 22nd Commissioner of Police in February 2024. Now, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) Zamfara State Command said it has recovered a stolen Mercedes-Benz C300 car, a Samsung Galaxy phone, and counterfeit currency amounting to $7,000. It said the items were recovered from one Mohammed Dauda Ismail, an indigene of Kano State. The commandant of the Corps in Zamfara State, Sani Mustafa, disclosed this while parading the suspect at the command headquarters in Gusau, the state capital. According to Mustafa, before the arrest of the suspects, tracking revealed several locations the culprit transited through before the tracker was removed and assumed lost. Commandant Sani Mustafa explained that the suspect, Muhammad Dauda, confessed to obtaining the items through deceit. He claimed that he left the owner's residence under the pretense of refilling gas at a gas plant in Kano, but absconded instead. Mustafa further disclosed that the tracking had confirmed the iPhone 12 is in Lokoja, Kogi State, and contacts were in place to retrieve it, as the buyer had agreed to return it to the rightful owner, adding that investigations were still ongoing and the suspect would be arraigned before a court of law upon completion. He, however, promised to keep the press and the general public abreast of further developments in due course. A National Youth Service Corps member identified as Ibal has reportedly slumped and died at the orientation camp in Kebbi State. Confirming the incident, the Kebbi State Commissioner for Youth and Sport, Alhaji Muhammad Fingila, described the passing of the Corps member as unfortunate while condoling the grieving family on behalf of the Kebbi State government. Ibal's remains have been sent to her home state of Adamawa. The incident has raised concerns about the safety and well-being of Corps members during their orientation period. Meanwhile, the NYSC is yet to release an official statement on the matter, as efforts to reach the spokesperson, Mrs. Hadiza, were unsuccessful. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
We break the news.
This is Christ Embassy.
Recollect, we were the first to break this. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs. And this?
Erasmus is the most successful program of the European Union to support education and youth.
And this?
Fubara is not an ungrateful person.
And more.
Tension is currently mounting in Rivers State. The planned arraignment of Yaya Bello.
Across our platforms. Subscribe now and you will be receiving our notifications and never left out as the news breaks on Clearview.
You're welcome back. And now to the foreign scene. South Korea's impeached president Yoon Suk-yeol has failed to appear before the country's corruption watchdog this Wednesday after he was summoned for questioning over his martial law bid. Yoon has been stripped of his duties by Parliament over the weekend following his short-lived December 3 martial law declaration, which plunged the country into its worst political turmoil in decades. According to reports, Yoon's legal team had challenged the insurrection charge against him and vowed to fight the allegation in court. Yoon is being investigated by South Korean prosecutors as well as a joint team of police, defense ministry, and anti-corruption investigators. Meanwhile, the judges have about 6 months to decide Yoon's case, and a preliminary hearing has been set for December 27, although Yoon is not required to attend. Now, marriage is a social institution that is designed, among other things, to ensure the happiness and fulfillment of the couple. With the rising cases of divorce in Nigeria today, Clevin News Imefono Kon sought the opinions of religious leaders on the stand of Islam and Christianity on divorce, as well as the implications of divorce on children and the society.
Marriage is a social institution that is designed, among other things, by God to be enjoyed by humans and not to be endured. Hence, it involves two adults that come together to live as one. Conflict may arise, leading to disagreement that could shake the union to its very foundation. Against this backdrop, some religious leaders speak on the stand of Islam and Christianity on divorce.
When God created marriage, He didn't create marriage with divorce in mind. It is the hardness of the heart of men that introduced divorce. However, Jesus said, if for any reason one has to undergo that, it should be for unfaithfulness in marriage, when there is infidelity in marriage. So that's the only condition that Jesus gave for divorce. But, you know, we are living in changing times. In a situation where there is violence in the marriage, domestic violence, and the life of one or the both partners in the marriage are at stake. It is advisable, you know, for them to separate than for them to create a scenario where it will lead to injury or fatality, you know, or death.
So the stand of Islam on divorce is a detestable act. It's a condemnable act. It's a discouraged act. Even though there is permissibility of it in Islam, but it is a right that is detestable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
The religious leaders speak on some factors responsible for divorce.
One is ignorance. Number two is impatience. Number three is inexpose of both sides. Number four, absence of consciousness of God. Number five, lack of proper understanding before marriage. Number six, economic reason. Number seven, unnecessary interference of both families. So these are some of the factors that contribute. And I first mentioned of ignorance. It's because they rush into marriage without having proper knowledge and understanding of what marriage is all about. You know, that is why they fail to attend counseling session. The economic reason is also another problem, where the wife believes the husband has to provide everything Islamically. That is what Islam says, that a man must provide everything 100% for his wife. But in this present situation, that will be difficult to achieve. Another thing is unnecessary interference. You see, that's what we call third parties. And so when you relate your private issues with other people outside, some of them who are not even as lucky as you are will give you a bad advice.
So many factors. One, economic factors. Two, a lot of people did not really prepare for the marriage. Most people prepare for the wedding. Wedding is one-day event. Marriage is a lifetime experience. So a lot of people focus on that one-day event, forgetting that marriage is more than just that one-day event.
It often said that the effect of divorce goes beyond just the couples. It extends to the children's future life and the society.
So it affects the children emotionally. It affects their self-esteem. And then, of course, some of the divorces also affect the children economically, because some of the women are not able to cope with the economic challenges that comes with divorce. So it brings poverty, it brings social, emotional problems, and so many things. It's a gamut of problems.
Number one, psychological life. Number two, the educational life of the children. It affects it. Then the morals of the children. It will affect the morality of the children once the parents are not together again. You see, because you have to put hands together, join hands together to bring up your children. When it becomes an individual, that's why we have single parents today. With my children, it's a problem. It's a trauma to both of them, except that they same themselves. The husband will be traumatic, the wife will be traumatic. Wherever they are, it brings about enmity, even into the society. When you have high rate of divorce, this one becomes enemy of this in the same community. How many enemies do we want to have?
Experts say a family is the bedrock of any society. A healthy family produces healthy and crime-free individuals in a society, while an unhealthy and unstable family produces an unstable and criminal infiltrated society or community. Imefonokon, reporting for Clever News.
And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. The Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has ordered an investigation into a matter involving a young man who was sentenced to death by hanging for stealing a chicken. A young lady has been arrested for killing her 10-month-old baby, Prevail Jonathan, who she threw into a community river because she was mocked for being fatherless. We also told you that a National Youth Service Corps member identified as Ibal has reportedly slumped and died at the orientation camp in Kebbi State. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clearview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clearview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.